jaw-dropping savages of the Middle Eastern extremists, internationally called ISIS or Daesh, have radicalized a number of natives in the southern province of Lanao del Sur, where a terrorist on the FBI list called Isnilon Hapilon intended to convert Marawi City as their center of operations, assisted by the native Maute family and a number of foreign mercenaries. The President's timely declaration of martial law over the Mindanao Islands and the ongoing siege of Marawi City are intended to exterminate the terrorists and prevent any possibility of their spawning. From Dulfo with the story.
President Rodrigo Duterte visits his troops who died in battle. Today, his country faces a new threat. Terror is no alien in Mindanao. As soon as he stepped into office, President Rodrigo Duterte was firm in crushing terrorism in his homeland.
The Mindanao is a very sticky issue. I come from a lola na Maranao. Ang lolo ko Chinese. So, in a way, if there is anybody who would also want peace for my land, isa na ako.
The series of kidnappings that took place in the high seas surrounding Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia drove his tightened measures against extremism. The Mindanao-based Abu Sayyaf was behind these activities. The rebels abducted countless local and foreign nationals. Some of them were beheaded. When President Duterte appealed to them to halt their kidnapping activities, the bandits mocked the chief executive. While the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, and the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF, expressed their commitment to peace, ASG leader Isnilon Hapilon forged an alliance in Buteg, Lanao del Sur with Omar and Abdullah, leaders of the Marawi-based terror group Maute. Aimed at creating a territory out of Marawi, they rose to challenge the government's bulwarks. As soon as the chief executive stepped into office, the Maute stepped up terror attacks, including one in Leyte and Davao, and a foiled bombing attempt at the US Embassy. These groups were all backed by foreign jihadists. May 23, the darkest day in Marawi dawned. Fighting broke out between state troopers and the ISIS-linked Maute in Marawi. The city has long been eyed as the next ISIS wilaya or province in Asia. While sealing economic deals in Russia, President Rodrigo Duterte declared martial law in Mindanao. This was his answer to terrorism. He claims the attack was a clear rebellion. In Marawi, thousands of civilians caught in the middle of the deadly battle ran to safety. Casualties rose. The actual figures were difficult to make out in the fog of war. When the president returned home, he ordered state forces to mount a relentless assault. While state forces fired artillery and rockets from the sky, the rebels positioned their snipers on ground. But the president's iron rule was challenged.
The problem in Marawi City right now could be addressed by military operations, not by martial law. We elevated ISIS or Maute in the international stage. So the Maute have achieved their objective of being recognized.
We would like to find out the relevant factual basis for the declaration of martial law, and also the question of quote-unquote invasion.
But one of the president's allies was there to defend him.
Talagang resolve ng ating Pangulo na gawin kung ano yung tama to address once and for all yung terrorism na lumalala.
A few kilometers from ground zero, a different crisis creeps in evacuation camps. Apart from cramped spaces, thousands of Bakwits face health hazards. Aside from agonizing from trauma, many of them suffer from dehydration and cholera. The conflict in Marawi gave birth to a humanitarian crisis.
There were 400 families gathered in one building, right? Tapos isa lang yung faucet, no, na mahina yung tubig. No? So ito yung situation among the evacuees. So there is indeed a humanitarian crisis.
This is not just about combating terrorism. This is not only about capturing Hapilon. This is not only about counting body bags in times of conflict.
As the enemies resist, state troopers relentlessly pound their bases, but they are blocked by the Maote's dirty tactics. The bandits use their captives as human shields, while they utilize mosques as sanctuaries. They have intensified their attacks. On social media, they proliferate their agenda. As the conflict drags on, the chief executive apologized for the prolonged crisis.
Di pa man natapos ang Ramadan, I would like to say to the Maranao people that I am very, very, very sorry na nangyari ito sa atin. Sana kung madaling panahon, you will find in your heart to forgive my soldiers, ang gobyerno, pati ako for declaring martial law. Wala akong choice. Sinisira na ang Marawi.
But apart from the Maote and the Abu Sayyaf, another ally challenged state powers. A breakaway group of the MILF, the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters or BIFF, stormed a village in North Cotabato. It was time for the government to accept military aid from other countries. Its long-standing ally, the United States, gave support on intelligence assessments. Australia provided 2 spy planes, while China gave millions of pesos and ammunitions. Now, the battle for Marawi resumes. The fate of civilians trapped in the city is unknown, and the hope of Maranao's evacuation camps dwindles. While the Maote continues to raise the ISIS flag in Mindanao, helicopters will keep hovering above Marawi, sending airstrikes from the sky. For GNN, the Global News Network, this is Dulfo.